Welcome back to the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Apple, Spotify, or Google, please leave a 5-star rating. This content is brought to you by Uphold, which makes crypto investing easy. You can buy, sell, trade, and earn cryptocurrencies on Uphold. I've been using Uphold for years. They're one of my go-to exchanges, and they have some great promotions right now. For example, you can buy and sell Bitcoin with zero fees, so trade Bitcoin for free. Once again, I've been using them for years, since 2017, and they have 10 plus million users, 200 plus cryptocurrencies, and they're available in 150 countries. So if you'd like to learn more, please visit the link in the description. All right, my friends, some interesting news here as far as what's happening in the macroeconomic picture, because what's happening in the world right now with inflation, recession, interest rates, and the Fed and what central banks are doing are certainly affecting crypto, and not just crypto, but all assets, right? Stock market is down, real estate's down, crypto's down, of course. So it's being reported by Gold Telegraph that the United States Treasury is exploring a debt buyback when the country is $31 trillion in debt, and the Federal Reserve posted its first operating loss in years. So this is interesting, guys. This would be pretty groundbreaking if they were to do a debt buyback. And, could CBDCs and crypto be involved in that? That is the big question. I think in some way it might be maybe the CBDCs that are coming, right? The central bank digital currencies, where they can move money faster. There's more liquidity in the system and so forth. So let's see what happens. Could they adopt Bitcoin as a form of gold, right? We see central banks have been buying gold over the years, and Bitcoin is digital gold, a store of value, or could they use another cryptocurrencies or another cryptocurrency, I should say? I'm not sure, guys, but it's something to think about. We are headed into a new realm here with crypto, and it's to be seen what these world governments are going to do, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do those things because of the CBDCs that are coming, and the world going on the blockchain, everything being tokenized. So something to keep an eye out on. Now, guys, some not so good news. I want to talk a bit about it and why I personally haven't been doing anything with DeFi, as far as investing a lot of money and doing decentralized finance with lending and different things and borrowing and so forth. So here's the headline: October becomes the worst month for crypto hacks with 2 weeks to go. Over $718 million has been stolen from DeFi protocols across 11 different hacks this month so far, per research firm Chainalysis. So of course, this is absolutely not good. And the crypto naysayers will use this and say, oh, you see, crypto is not good. The technology sucks. It's just a lot of speculation and so forth. But we, as informed investors, as folks who research and look at the markets from a macro perspective, understand that version 1.0 of anything is not good. It usually has a lot of flaws, right? A lot of problems. And I've often talked about Web 1.0 and all the flaws there. There were a lot of vulnerabilities, a lot of hacks, a lot of data breaches and so forth. And to this day, in Web 2.0, there's still a lot of data breaches, right? We see hacks happening with people's data, and this is outside of crypto. So what will solve this eventually is the maturation of these blockchain technologies to get them to a place where these hacks don't happen. And this is why I personally, while I'm bullish on DeFi, I have not participated in it. I have not taken my hard-earned money and go and lock up coins in something and loan it out or whatever it is, because I know there's a big risk here, and the risk is not worth the reward because it's just high risk. It's too much risk for my blood, right? That's not to say, for example, if I've gotten free tokens via airdrop, for example, I've gotten the Songbird token from the Flare folks, and eventually we'll get our Flare tokens, I believe they said later this month. That is free money, and it's not something that I, took my hard-earned money and invested in those tokens. So I'm willing to risk that because I didn't have to put any cash to get that. So that is the only thing that I'm currently doing. I've not touched anything from a DeFi standpoint. Are there certain DeFi related tokens that I may hold in my portfolio? Yes, but I'm not locking up any funds to lend or borrow or things like that because these hacks are getting crazy. So let's break down what's going on here. Data pointed out by Chainalysis on Thursday noted the amount was stolen from the $718 million, by the way, from several decentralized finance protocols across 11 hacks. This year will likely surpass 2021 as the biggest year for hacking on record. Chainalysis researchers wrote, so far, hackers have grossed over $3 billion across 125 hacks. Boy, if you're a hacker, you're making out like a bandit here, right? I mean, these guys are just getting tons of money here. I mean, billions. So this is why I'm personally staying away. So here's some quotes. Despite the current bear market, we're seeing a lot of activity among hackers who are targeting various protocols, said Jasper Lee, audit tech lead at crypto auditing firm Suho.io. Another quote, for those protocols or dApps, which are decentralized apps, which have not been thoroughly audited, they make for easy and reliable short-term profit. Poorly protected protocols are low-hanging fruit for hackers who make easy pickings of their too easily accessed locks, Lee said. Attackers gained over $3.2 billion in 2021, but 2022 was off to an even rocky start with a 325 million exploit of popular cross-chain service Wormhole, which was followed by a $625 million attack on Axie Infinity's Ronin bridge, and then a $200 million exploit on of the Nomad bridge. So, guys, like I said, be careful. I personally am not locking up any funds anywhere. My tokens, my coins are on my hardware wallet. I have coins that I stake, and that is how I earn passive income, right? I've often talked about the way to kind of survive the bear market and to earn passive income from your crypto is to certainly have a position in proof of stake coins that you can just earn high APY on. So you even want to be careful with the lending and borrowing, given what the SEC is doing. So right now, I am not lending or borrowing anything, even in centralized exchanges, because we saw, BlockFi got fined $100 million. The SEC stopped Coinbase in their lending program. So in full transparency, I'm not loaning out anything right now, centralized or decentralized. So I'm just being careful. I'm being risk averse. So I'm sharing these thoughts and something for you guys to think about. So the other aspect to this too, guys, is that, a lot of these decentralized platforms, there's no insurance. There's no FDIC, right? At least maybe with the centralized folks, there's some FDIC, some insurance and so forth. And that's what you want to make sure you're reading the fine print there too. But this is this tricky part about the decentralized, finance sector. So not good. And eventually they will get it right, guys. All these hacks have a silver lining, and that is the developers are going to learn and they're going to build better protocols and better security. As it says, Warren Buffett, his quotes, when the tide goes out, you see who's left swimming naked. And the strong protocols that are out there will survive and will not get hacked, and will learn from these attacks and build and make sure their blockchains and protocols are stronger. But what kind of happens is that in the bull market, everybody's making money. They get distracted by that. They're kind of maybe doing some marketing instead of like really putting their head down and building. And when the bear market comes, and then the hackers are waiting, right? They're waiting to see who's let their foot off the gas a bit because the price isn't going up, and maybe people are not as excited anymore, right? So that's what's happening, and that's why these folks are getting targeted. But it really sucks how much money is being stolen here, and really sucks if folks are losing their money, their hard-earned money. So attack vectors in the crypto sector range from exploiting bridges, a blockchain-based tool that allows users to transact between different networks, to market manipulation, where rogue traders utilize millions of dollars to move tiny traded markets in their favor to net several multiples of the initial capital deployed. Over 3 bridges were breached this month alone, Chainalysis said, with an attack on a BNB chain-based bridge over the weekend. Saw exploiters illicitly gaining over $100 million after the bridge was exploited for $566 million. Then on Monday, the Layer 1 blockchain Quan and platform, if I'm saying that right, was the target of a bridge hack that resulted in the theft of nearly 1 million in ANX tokens, or yeah, I guess that's what it's called, ANX tokens. So guys, of course, the BNB hack, right? That was a big one because it was attached to the world's largest crypto exchange. But I'm just putting it out here, guys. The reason why I'm covering this is to issue a warning. Be careful, right? And if you are going to test out some of these protocols, probably put some test budget first. Don't go put all your crypto in there. Don't put all your tokens in there. Those of you who are new to the market, I know this may seem like, wow, what is this? It's like a whirlwind, right? But this is where you need to do your research. And, I ask folks to subscribe to this channel so I can give you the reasoning behind what's happening and what you need to look out for. And that's why I'm sharing my personal point of view of I'm not touching this until they get this right. And it doesn't mean DeFi is not here to stay. It doesn't mean I'm not bullish on DeFi. I am, but I'm looking at DeFi 2.0 and DeFi 3.0, right? It has to mature. We're still very early. So some things to think about. Now, the next item here, I want to talk about some crypto regulation news from across the globe. So India aims to develop crypto SOPs during the G20 presidency, says Finance Minister Sehasraman has previously called for a global collaboration to decide on crypto's future and has been cautious against mainstream crypto adoption, citing risks to financial stability. Now, we've seen this risk to financial stability narrative and headline being used by different folks, even here in the United States, right? And we talked about the news of BNY Mellon got the green light to custody crypto while the Fed was citing, risk to financial stability, and they've been blocking Caitlin Long out of Wyoming and her crypto bank. So, when you see this stuff, it's kind of just like some posturing, and it's like, okay, we're going to feed this narrative, but all of the legacy incumbents are starting to set up shop while we slow down the new crypto startups. That's kind of what's been happening. So the finance minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, revealed India's plan to develop standard operating procedures, SOPs, for cryptocurrency during its G20 presidency from December 1st, 2022 to November 30th, 2023. I think 2023 is going to be a huge year for crypto regulations globally, not just in the United States. From the folks I've been talking to in the US, regulators and people from advocacy groups, I'm just hearing a lot of it's going to be 2023. So look, 2022 is already a wash, right? The holidays are coming up. We have the midterms. I don't think they're going to get anything through. Maybe they will, but most likely from a probability standpoint, it's going to be 2023. So the G20, or Group of 20, is a global forum for addressing the major issues related to the global economy. According to Sitharaman, if I'm saying that right, no country can effectively handle or regulate crypto, adding that, here's a quote, but if it's a question of platforms, trading of assets which have been created, buying and selling, making profits, and more importantly, in all, these countries are in a position to understand the money trade. Are we in a position to establish for what purpose it's being used? Sitharaman further highlighted that the use of crypto assets in money laundering, as detected by India's law enforcement agency, Enforcement Directorate. She further added that the members of the G20 have also acknowledged the same concerns while reiterating the need for the participation of all countries when it comes to effectively regulating crypto assets. The TLDR here, guys, every government around the world is coming together to put out clear regulations. It's still a work in progress. Some countries are lagging behind and some are ahead. And they're also working on their central bank digital currencies. Guys, that is because we're headed to the token economy. everything on the blockchain, tokenization of assets, securities, commodities, and so forth, contracts on the blockchain, IDs on the blockchain. All of that is what's coming. And of course, cryptocurrencies, digital assets will be part of the whole ecosystems along with CBDCs. So when I see news like this, it just shows how high of a priority crypto has become. And they're going to start debating and having a dialogue. There's going to be a lot of dog and pony show, smoke screens, and all that, right? Just because these governments will allow the incumbents to take a position, and then they'll make sure everything's in order, pass the regulations, and then you're going to see even those who are skeptics will flip and they'll start promoting it. It's what's coming. We've seen this show before. Now, Rashini Primarante, oh boy, I apologize, I butchered her name. Anyway, she covers crypto law and tweets out a lot of different things about regulations. She said, with the EU passing the MiCA framework legislation for digital assets in other countries like Kazakhstan, progressing in Web3 regulation, the US has to move swiftly, especially on stablecoins, to not be left behind. And she's absolutely right here. And the news she referenced was Kazakhstan Legislature pushes new crypto rules forward. The lower house of the country's parliament has passed 5 bills regulating to digital assets or relating to digital assets as the government seeks to tighten its grip on crypto activity, particularly crypto mining. So globally, once again, further here's more facts for you that this is happening globally. And we see there's big government groups such as the Bank of International Settlements, the IMF, and all these folks are calling for global crypto regulations. And it's not to kill crypto. Once again, it is to regulate it and tax it. Of course, they want to make their cut. And this is part of what has me bullish on crypto, guys. I see the government's moving in the direction of fostering innovation and helping crypto to grow. And I see the big money like BlackRock, BNY Mellon, NASDAQ, all these folks launching crypto services. So what does that tell me? DCA, dollar cost average, hodl and be patient and wait for the next bull market and future bull markets. We've seen the 4-year cycle play out with Bitcoin. So right now we're in our bear market, and it's all boom and bust cycles. It's all market cycles, right? So don't be afraid of the recession. And this time it's different. It's the end of the world and all that. If one thing I've learned, guys, is that you got to not watch the media and the headlines that are coming out from mainstream media, right? Because they use fear and greed and these emotions and to get you to click, to get you to watch, right? That's what they're selling. But when you look at the data and you look at the market cycles and the charts, you see a different story. It's cyclical. It is just simply market cycles, and you have your boom periods and your bust periods. And this is true for not just crypto, but obviously real estate and stocks and so forth. So once you understand these fundamental items, it really just helps you to know what you're doing, how to plan, when to buy, when to sell, and so forth. And this is why I talk about macroeconomic factors as well. What's the Fed doing? Because when it becomes a risk-on environment, and then there's more money flowing into the economy, more money going to assets, and that's when you can make money. And obviously, when it's risk-off and everybody's scared and the prices are low and people are selling, there's blood on the streets, that's the time to be buying and accumulating, such as what we're in right now. Now, obviously, you have to talk to an investment advisor, do your own research. I'm just sharing my experience, what has helped me to make money when it comes to investing. I did not know these things for a long time. And then crypto helped me to understand money and how finance works. I didn't know before. And I'm thankful for that. And, my life has changed as a result. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button, and I'll talk to you all later.